Hello my strange and charmed ones, and welcome back to my channel for another video. Today I wanted to share with you guys about my newest social media obsession, Snapchat. I don't know about you, but I have been getting back into Snapchat over the last couple of weeks, and I've really felt like ever since I got back into Snapchat, everywhere I look now, people are talking about Snapchat and using Snapchat. So I think that this is like the best time right now for me to make a video, explain to you guys how to use Snapchat if you're not sure about how to use the platform, and talk to you guys about how I'm using it for my business and my own brand and social media presence. Now, Snapchat is not a platform that is brand new. It has been around for a couple of years at this point, and if you're one of my OG followers, you may remember that back in the fall of 2014, I first started using Snapchat because there was also a lot of buzz about the platform at that time as well. But even in 2014, I feel like Snapchat had been around for a while, but I do think it's generally a very misunderstood platform, and so with all the attention I feel like Snapchat's getting, I just feel like everywhere I look, on Instagram, on YouTube, like everyone's talking about Snapchat right now, and I think it's really a testament to like the synchronicity of the universe that sometimes platforms and topics just become so popular that they become in the spotlight of the mainstream for a while. So if you're someone who has also noticed that Snapchat is all the buzz right now and you wanted to know more, this video is going to be one part tutorial on how to actually use the app, and the second part is going to be my strategies for using Snapchat for my brand and business. So I'll keep that at the end in case you are not someone who's got a brand or business or social media presence that you're trying to work on. So I'll leave that to the end so you guys can, click off if it doesn't apply to you. But let's first and foremost go ahead and jump into the tutorial on how to actually use the application. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and open up this app. As you can see here on my screen, the Snapchat app is this bright yellow icon with a little ghost in the center. Let's go ahead and tap on that. And when the app loads, it loads with one of your cameras showing a feed. So right now it's showing the feed from my front-facing camera. If I were to go over to this little smiley face icon on the upper right-hand corner, I could tap on that and it would actually switch to the rear-facing camera of my phone. Again, if I tap that same icon, which has changed a little bit now, it's a circle, it goes back to the front-facing camera. So here's a little trick for you guys. You can actually do this really like a quick hack by just double tapping on your screen and it'll change between the views of your camera for you without you having to touch that little icon on the upper corner. Okay, so before we get into how to use Snapchat for taking pictures and videos and all that fun stuff, let's quickly run down some of the features that are associated with the settings for the application. So if you touch that little ghost icon in the upper top, it brings down your profile information. So as you can see, here I've got my little profile. I don't have a picture inside of my Snap profile, I guess. And you can see there's not anything else with your profile. There's no words or any description or anything like that in Snapchat. So all we've got is our name, and then at the bottom our little Snapchat score, because Snapchat's a little bit like a game. It does like count like however many times you snap or how many snaps you actually view, and it kind of gives you a score, and there's a little bit of a game element to this app. So I don't really pay attention to that, but it's just something to know about the app. Now, under where your profile picture is, or my lack of profile picture, there is a button that says Added Me. You can click on this and it'll actually be yellow if you have anyone new that's added you, and you can see a list of the people who have recently added you. Now, this is the thing about this list. It only actually holds about 200 people. So it does not show a complete list of who's following you, unfortunately, because people do actually, as they add, if you do have this screen filled up, like I have more than just these people here following me. Let me see, if you go down to the bottom, the oldest person it's showing on here is Super Fudge. If someone right now new were to follow me, Super Fudge would drop off, and then the new person would take a spot at the top, and then the bottom would show this Linda T Mom. Okay, so this is not a complete list of your followers, and Snapchat just doesn't show you a complete list of your followers. Another thing to keep in mind about this is that anyone that you're also following will not show up in here. So if you have friends that you follow and you know follow you, if you're looking on this and going, where are they? They don't show up here because these are just people that simply are the most recent people who follow you that you don't follow back. Okay, so if we go back to that screen, the next option we have is to add friends, okay? Now this is where you can add new people based on their username. If you know people's usernames, which is probably the most frequent way that people are gonna add me. If you were to click on add by username and you were to search for MissTrenchcoat, you would find me, okay? So if you have your phone out and you wanna do that right now, put in MissTrenchcoat. If you add by username, and I should pop up for you guys. Now, it's not going to let me follow myself, but I'm sure if you do that, you will get MissTrenchcoat in there. Next option is to add from your address book. So Snapchat will actually access your contacts on your phone, and anyone who's currently a contact of yours, like in your cell phone, if they've got Snapchat, you will be able to see them by clicking in there and see who you're following that you know who is also on Snapchat. The next thing is to add by snap code. So adding by snap code is if you're with someone, like let's say you're out at like a party or out to dinner with people and you pull up your Snapchat account, people can actually, if you go back to this home page here, do you see how like the picture of the ghost has like different dots on it? Like that's your snap code. So someone could come and take a picture of this and it would like automatically add me to their following, right? Now, other than adding by snap code, the last option is to add nearby, which means people who are sharing the same Wi-Fi network as you. And then you have an option of share username. So if you're someone who's on a public Wi-Fi and you want to be able to link up with people who are near you, like if you're at a party or an event or something, you can share your username and then people nearby will be able to find you that way. So that is how you add friends and find people through Snapchat. The next option here is My Friends, and this will be a list of the people that you follow. So if you're following anyone who you know also follows you, they won't be on that added me list. They'll be here on your friends list. And this is broken down by people who you've added as friends. And then if you can see up at the top, contacts as well. For privacy, I'm just going to leave that and not really go through that. Okay, so other things here up on your this settings tab, you can see there is a little question mark icon. This explains how you add people by that snap code, okay? The next icon is your trophy case. Because I said that there is an element of a game sort of thing with Snapchat, you do win trophies for different things. If you can see, if I click on this first one, it says my Snapchat score hit 1,000, so I got this little sparkly one. So just another fun element of the app. And then the cog wheel, if we click on that, that's our settings. So here in your settings, you actually get your private account information, which as you can see, I've blurred out some private information of my own, but your account information will be there if you check your settings. Other notable things here in this screen, you can adjust your privacy settings in terms of who can send you direct snaps and who can view your public story. So in Snapchat, there's two things that you can do. You can take photos and videos, snaps, and send them publicly to anyone who's following you, which is your story, or you can send snaps like direct messaging to specific people. Now, the thing is with Snapchat is anyone following you can technically send you a direct message. So if you want to kind of, you know, give yourself a little bit of privacy and kind of funnel who's able to direct message you, you can do that in this screen. You can also select who's able to view your story. If you want that to be anyone following you, or if you just want it to be certain friends and family members, you can select that in that option. And then down at the bottom, another thing to keep an eye out for in your account actions is clearing your conversations for those direct snap messages. So if you click on that, you'll get a full list of all the snap messages, conversations you've got loaded up, and you can clear them all by clicking that clear all button, or select individual ones and close them out, okay? Because they will stay in that sort of direct snap messaging area if you don't clear them out. Okay, so that's the background on your settings and such. Let's get into the fun part of Snapchat, which is actually snapping, right? Okay, so when you go to Snapchat, like you saw when you open it up, it starts with the snap screen, which is gonna have one of your cameras open, okay? So you can see that there is actually a little shutter button, a little circle at the bottom for a shutter, where you can actually tap once for a photo. There you go, I've taken a photo. Okay, I'm gonna close out of that for now. Or you can hold down on that button and it will create a video that's the maximum 10 seconds long, and you can see the timer, that red timer is going around to tell you that your time is up for making that video, okay? So I actually have my audio off so we don't get disrupted in this video here, but normally if your audio was turned on, you'd be able to hear that message for yourself. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and again, I'm gonna close out with that little X button because I don't wanna save these right now. So there are a few other fun things about Snapchat that you might be interested in. One of them is if you take a photo or a video, either or, let's take a picture real quick, you can add filters to your photos. So when your photo is up or your video, if you swipe from right of your screen to left, you will basically pull on filters. So there are different filters here that just adjust the color and saturation of your image. There's also some fun things like this here that'll tell you the miles per hour you're traveling. Obviously I'm stationary, so 0 miles per hour for me right now. It'll show you the temperature outside, the time. This is like battery life, I guess, of your phone. And it also has some really cool geolocation filters. So you can see here, it knows I'm in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and there's a geolocation filter there. It also knows that I'm in Bensalem, so it shows that geolocation there for the filter, okay? Some other things that you can do with your photos and your videos once you've already taken them like this, because you can add the exact same filters, and there's actually more filters if you go through on your video that you'll get options for, like speeding up the video or slowing down the video or reversing it. You have a few other options for filters after the fact if you take a video. But some more things that are similar between pictures and video is at the top right-hand corner, you can see there's 3 little icons on the top. The first is like a little sticker or a little sticky note icon. That will open up an area where you're able to add basically, you know, emojis as stickers onto your picture. So this is the same emojis that you might normally already be familiar with on your phone, which is great. So, you know, all your favorite emojis are here. So let's go ahead and click on one, and you can see this little laptop. And if I touch it and drag it around, I can move it around my screen and around the picture. I can also, with two fingers, pinch and make it bigger or smaller. And I also can remove it left and right along the picture, which is really awesome. Second option here is for, if you actually touch on it, actually, you can drag it back up and that little button turns into a trash can. You can throw out the sticker, which is if you don't want it or you've added too many, because you can add as many stickers as you want as far as I can tell. Next option here is text, okay? So I can say filming for YouTube here and put like a little message, and it comes up as this banded bar. If I touch the text option again, it changes to this larger font that's left aligned. If I touch it again, it becomes center aligned. Now, what you can also do here is if I go in and touch it again, I can actually adjust the color of this font. So like I can move my finger up and down this scale and I can get to like, oh, that's like a kind of like a turquoisey color, right? And I can say filming for YouTube and I can move it where I want. Another really cool thing you can do is you see that little pen icon? We can click on that. Again, adjust the color of the pen by touching up and down that color wheel. And then what you can do is you can actually draw. So I could go ahead and draw some stars or some hearts. And if you draw something and you want to erase it, there's that little back button. So I can tap that as many times as I need to get something away and draw whatever else I wanted, right? So let's say this is the picture I want to put up on my Snapchat story, okay? I've got a few options here. At the bottom left-hand side of this image, you'll see a little timer that says 10 right now for me. This is the timer for how long you want your photo to show. So you can adjust how many seconds you want the photo to show as part of your story. like the videos are only 10 seconds long maximum, you can only show a picture for the maximum of 10 seconds. Next option here is this little down arrow with a line. If you click that, it saves the snap. So technically you could just use this and make your own snaps and like save them and never put them on your story, and just use this as kind of just like another fun, photo app, if you wanted to. The next button you see, that's a square with a little plus sign in it, that will automatically add the snap to your story so that anyone following you will be able to see that. And then the arrow over that's kind of has a little bit of a, it's got a little bit of an animation. If we click on that, that gives you the ability to choose to send this snap to a specific person in like a direct message, or really also add it to your story. So you can like click on different people to add it to if you wanted to, and you could send it that way. But if we go back and I click that little square button with the plus sign, there we go, it adds it to my story, okay? One other fun thing about Snapchat, which is really cool, is those cool effects, like the animated effects it has. So let's go back here, and you have to have, in order to use these, you have to have a face showing in the image. So it couldn't be like a picture of your desk or of a car or something like that. You need a photo live kind of feed of a face. So you can see my live feed of my face is here. If I take my finger and I just hold on to my face, like tap onto my face on the screen, do you see how it just mapped my face? And then it brought up a special sort of animated effects, just like an extra filter thing at the bottom. So I can take and drag these into the shutter button, and you can see it gives you directions for how to use the effect. And you can see here, I'm being a dog. How cute is that, right? And if I wanted to, I could snap a picture, right? I just snapped that photo. Or I could hold my finger down for a maximum of 10 seconds and make it a video, okay? So let's go ahead and add that to my Snap story as well, shall we? And there are a bunch of different filters in there that change out seasonally as well. So definitely explore that tab and, see what other fun things you've got that might be geolocation wise, or, just based on the time of year that you're using those. They kind of always switch those cool animations up. Okay, next thing I want to talk to you guys about before we get to the stories is those direct messages. So going back to the main screen, if you slide your finger from the left side of your screen to the right, you will pull up your direct message feature. As you can see here, this is a list of all the direct conversations I'm having with people. If I wanted to search for one specifically, because like I said, it doesn't delete them unless you go into your settings and delete them, I could search for someone specifically, or I can open a new conversation up by going to this chat bubble, and I could search for someone that I'm friends with or following and send them a direct message. I'm not going to do that right now, but it gives me the ability, if I were, here, I'll pull up Anne Samoylov because she's friends with me. I could send her a message and be like, hey, I'm filming for YouTube right now. I could send that to her by hitting send. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to distract her. I know she's not feeling well right now. Or I can hit this little yellow button and it brings up the camera, and I could record a message or take a photo for her. Okay, so I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go back, but you can see that's how that direct messaging function works, okay? Now go back to our main screen. We just hit that camera button. It brings back the main screen. And then to go to our stories, right, we drag our finger from right to left on our screen and it brings up the stories, okay? So here you're able to see your own story first. And if I were to click on my story, it would bring it up and you could start to watch my Snap story. Now, something you're gonna notice here is there is a timer in the upper right-hand corner of this screen, and the timer has two parts to it. The outer ring of this timer shows you how much time you have left in the specific snap you're viewing, and the inner part that's kind of like a pie that's being eaten as the outer ring goes around, that shows you how much time is left in the entire Snap story, okay? And Snaps only show for 24 hours. They only stay up for 24 hours. So you could have a whole bunch in a whole day and have a lot to view. So if you want to kind of fast forward through someone's Snap story, all you have to do is take one finger and tap on the screen, and you can see as I'm tapping, the pictures are going through faster, right? So it's going through, and look, that's something we just put up now, right? So, and there's the dog picture, right? So that you can fast forward through someone's story if you don't want to watch it. And at any time, you can also do what I just did there, which was take your finger and just swipe down, and it kind of kicks it off screen, okay? Also within your story, you see those three little dots on the right side? You have the ability to open your entire story, and you can go and look and see the analytics, more or less for each of your snaps and see how many people and who specifically has viewed a snap of yours. So you can see here the numbers in purple are how many people have viewed, and then there's a number in green with a little double arrow symbol that shows how many people have taken a screenshot of your snap. Remember, these snaps are only for 24 hours, so if someone wants to save something they're seeing, they have to take a screenshot. But Snapchat's really great, and they actually let you know who's done that. So let's go ahead and click into one of these. Okay, I'm gonna click on where it says the numbers, and I can actually scroll through, right? And I can see the people who have actually watched this snap, right? And I can go and find the person who should be listed in green who took a screenshot of it. So you know if it's a friend of yours or some random person. In this case, Slayerkin19, I know her, she's my friend Melissa. We chat on Snapchat a lot. Hey Melissa, if you're watching. And so I'm okay, she took a snap of my planner. She probably just wanted to take a better look at it, and so she's got the snap saved now, which is, good for her. So some other things that you can do here when you're looking at your individual snaps. As you can see, I was able to open and close this panel with the caret in the center. Okay, and here again, it shows the amount of people who have viewed the snap, how many people have taken a screenshot, and on the other side, in the top right-hand corner, I can delete this snap by hitting that trash can. Okay, if I wanted to delete this, I could hit that trash can and it would remove it from my story, so it doesn't have to stay there for the full 24 hours. Or I can hit that little down caret arrow again, and that saves it, okay? So really important things to know. Okay, another thing that you can do, which is really cool here with your own story, is do you see this button that shows the down arrow with a circle around it and a line? If I were to click that, it would actually download my entire story as it is as a video and save it to your camera roll, which is really cool because some people I know and people I follow as well will take their Snapchat videos and save them and like maybe put them in a vlog or something like that, which is really cool that you actually have the ability, the app will compile those for you as a video. Okay, so that is my story. We'll go ahead and close that. Some other things that are here on the app you may have seen is the Discover tab. This is where like brands or sponsored people basically have, you can view like popular brands and things like that, their snaps, which you can actually scroll through that, or you can go all the way right by hitting that little globe, dotted globe icon. You can bring over the Discover and see all the sponsored snaps essentially. You can go back. Then there's also live events that are just kind of big things that are happening in the world. For example, last day in Paris, that one you can see here is the last day of, I guess, Paris Fashion Week, because I think that's going on. And then you've got the recent updates and all the stories for the people that you follow. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and click on any of those because obviously it's not my content. I don't want to share other people's snaps. But as you saw with my story, when I showed you my story, you click on someone's story and it shows you all those snaps. You can fast forward. If you don't want to watch it, you can take a screenshot if you want to of something. Or if you can't finish watching them, you just take your finger and pull down and it kind of wipes it off screen. So you don't have to finish watching them, and then whatever you haven't seen yet will be in your recent updates still, which is pretty cool. So that is essentially how you use Snapchat. Now let's talk about how I like to use Snapchat for my business and why I've been enjoying it so much. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, I've gotten back into Snapchat over the last few weeks, and I've really been having a great time with the platform now as opposed to the time that I spent on the platform back in 2014 when I first signed up. Now, to be clear, I don't think that the platform has changed much or changed at all all really since the time I signed up in 2014. But I think that my situation has changed in such a way that now I'm kind of in a great place to be using Snapchat because my community and my following elsewhere around the internet is much bigger and much stronger. You may have noticed while we were going through the tutorial that unfortunately Snapchat is not a platform that lends itself to be a place where you're going to be discovered on social media. It's not like Instagram where people can search for you or get recommended to be following you through their discovery tab. It's not like YouTube where you can search and find videos and find, content makers that fit your needs and fit, your lifestyle. But really, Snapchat is more like a social media platform for people who are already connected and already friends. So in order to even follow someone on Snapchat or to be followed by someone, you need to know someone's actual handle on Snapchat. So it's not something where you can search just generic terms or hashtags or find people by category. You really have to know who you're looking for. So that's something that makes Snapchat a little bit more of a difficult social media platform for anyone who's trying to engage in brand building. Now, if you're someone like me who does have a bigger following now, when I first started in 2014, I probably had a much smaller following, maybe 5,000 to 10,000 followers. And now, my community is 50,000 plus. So I have much more engagement on Snapchat now than I did back in 2014, and that makes a difference to me as the creator who's, putting time and effort into creating and having fun with the platform, because I'm seeing engagement, I'm seeing results, and I'm really, most of all, seeing that I'm making connections with people that maybe I would not normally be making connections with. Now, of course, with all of my social media platforms, anyone can send me a message on Instagram or on YouTube or send me an email. That's always been a way that people can contact me. But I think that because Snapchat is a slightly more personal feeling platform, I've been getting a lot more engagement from my users. I've been getting questions and feedback and just wonderful comments from people within my community. And that's really enriched my experience with the application and really helped me to give back to my community and tighten that community bond. So this is something you really need to think about if you're someone who is trying to engage in brand building. If you have a very small following, I wouldn't spend my time in Snapchat hoping that you're going to grow that following. However, I will say that if you are already engaging in brand building outside of Snapchat through other platforms like a website or YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, right? If you are already building outside there, I do see Snapchat as being a really great community resource. Now, unfortunately, people in your community aren't going to be able to necessarily see and talk to each other, but they will be able to see and talk to you very easily and very streamlined. So I do see the value there in terms of Snapchat being a community builder, but it's not something that is going to be a platform where if you create awesome Snapchat content, I don't see people going viral on Snapchat. I think that you really need to have the audience elsewhere on the internet that you're going to be directing people to be following you on Snapchat. So I have a really good Snapchat following now, I would assume. Obviously, I have no clue how many people are actually following me on Snapchat, but I am seeing a lot of eyes on my snaps, which is really great, and I'm getting a lot of engagement from my followers. But the reason I have that large number of followers, I know, is because I have told people on Instagram, go ahead and check me out on Snapchat. I've tweeted about it, I've put it in blog posts, and now I'm doing a YouTube video about it. So, I'm sure many of you here on my YouTube channel who are curious about Snapchat are probably gonna go and look me up on Snapchat and, put in my username, MissTrenchcoat, and then follow me. But if I didn't tell you that information, if I didn't share that with you, unfortunately, Snapchat is just not the platform where discovery is really possible. So that's something that you really want to keep in mind. I see the benefit for developing relationships and connections with your community, but I don't see it as being a place where you really want to spend a lot of time like brand building. Again, the snaps only last 24 hours. There's not a lot of long-term effort. When it comes to grading the quality of content that you'd be putting on Snapchat, definitely it's cheaper sort of content. It's not something like a YouTube video like this that takes me several hours to prep and film and edit and upload, and therefore I'm making sure that the content in this video is A+. It's not like that on Snapchat. It takes just a second to do a snap, and it only has a shelf life of 24 hours maximum. So, that's something to keep in mind if you are curious about Snapchat. Now, if you want to know the strategy for how I'm using Snapchat now, I'm even hesitant to say strategy because, again, it's not a platform where I see myself developing in terms of my following, but it is a platform where I see myself developing with relationships with my community members. So honestly, you guys, all I've been doing on Snapchat is essentially daily vlogging. So if you're someone who has asked me to do daily vlogs or wants me to bring back my vlogs, which I kind of discontinued a while ago, if you are interested in seeing the behind the scenes of my life, Snapchat's where it's at. Like, I snap you guys when I'm doing work, I snap you guys what I'm eating, my coffee, things I'm thinking, websites, blog posts, I snap my planner all the time. This is really the place that I see myself creating that very quick behind the scenes content that is very much like vlog footage for my community. And I see a real value in that, right? Because this platform is giving me the ability to create a certain type of content that I'm not already creating that I know many members of my community are interested in. So if you are someone in my community that wants vlogs from me, and maybe you've been asking me, or you miss my What I Ate Wednesdays, or you want to see more about my planner, or you just want to know what I'm up to in life, Snapchat is where I'm going to be directing people because that is the behind the scenes, the ultimate behind the scenes, even more so than Instagram, because my Instagram has become more streamlined and it has become more of a promotional outlet. I am very strict on making sure that I'm curating great photos for my Instagram, or doing like what I'm doing right now. Currently, as I'm filming this, it's March and I'm doing my Charmed GTD photo challenge on Instagram. That is what I see myself doing on Instagram. And, maybe months and maybe years ago, Instagram was more behind the scenes, but now, things have shifted. Instagram is much more of the brand builder for me. So it's more important for me to put more time and effort into my images and curate a feed on Instagram that is, again, like A+ feed for me. So I'm able to put, that, not to say like lower quality content, but absolutely it is lower effort and it's easier for me to produce, and it just takes me a second, and you guys really get a very authentic view of my life through Snapchat. So that's how I've been using Snapchat. And honestly, I am someone who has been creating like longer Snapchat stories. Like, I will legit just like get up in the morning and talk to you guys in little 10-second increments for like 5 or 10 minutes. So I know for some people, maybe that's a little bit annoying. I know that unfortunately the way it films in the 10 seconds at a time, it doesn't lend itself to that longer form vlogging, but it's what I've been doing, and I've been getting really great feedback from my community on that. So I really do enjoy doing that. So I've really been using the platform as a way to mostly show you guys my life behind the scenes, things that I'm up to, give you guys thoughts or in the moment like productivity tips and lessons as they happen for me in real life. When I have those aha moments, I share them with you guys on the platform. And then of course, I am doing a little bit of promotion on Snapchat, letting you guys know about things I've got going up. So like blog posts that I think you might be interested of mine that are, live on my site, or new videos or new products. This is really going to be the platform where I'm just going to be talking about everything. And you guys have almost like an open door policy to me, to be able to send me messages and send me feedback and let me know what you're thinking, and we can have a dialogue. So that is really my strategy and why I'm enjoying Snapchat so much right now. I really do think it's a great platform. I'm having so much fun just snapping away for you guys, during the day and not feeling like I need to, sit down and do a video in order to talk to you guys. I can really just on the cuff, on the fly, just start snapping and let you guys know what's up. So that's how I've been using and enjoying the platform. And I definitely want to hear your feedback. If you're someone who is using Snapchat, let me know what it is that you like about Snapchat, what it is that you think people are doing right out of the people you're following, and maybe ways that I could improve, or even things that you guys want to see from me more often. I am still getting in the swing of this. I do have to remind myself, oh, this is something I should snap. It's not like I'm someone who automatically has that sort of social sharing button turned on in their brain. But I am going to let Snapchat be whatever you guys want it to be. So if you guys tell me you want to see more planner things, or if you want to see, more of hauls of like things that I'm buying, things that normally I would not put on my YouTube or on my Instagram or really write about on my blog either. Let me know what it is you want to see more of, and I am more than happy to give you guys what you want. So I know this video was incredibly thorough and probably incredibly long, but thank you so much for making it to the end with me here. I hope it was informative, and I really can't wait to hear down in the comments your feedback. And if you are someone who follows me on Snapchat, I'd love to know what your handle is, because the funny thing about Snapchat is that it is a little bit harder to kind of realize who people are. So, I always like to know who my followers are across different platforms, especially if you're someone who's gracious enough to be following me on more than one platform. So let me know who you are down below so I can kind of put the YouTube name with the Snapchat face in a way. And yeah, give me your feedback in the comments. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. And if you did enjoy this video, if you found this tutorial helpful and you thought that you found my analysis of Snapchat to be interesting, definitely give this video a thumbs up. And if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos by me. And until next time, you guys, bye-bye!